In all my years of playing fantasy basketball, I've only seen one thing that can lead to a player winning their league or losing their league. And guess what that is? Rankings. And in this episode, we're going to run down the ESPN Top 100. We believe every NBA fan should support fantasy basketball content. So we're going to start from the top of the list. Everyone knows the number one player in fantasy basketball is Nikola Jokic, aka the Joker. Don't get cute. Don't overthink this. Don't think about drafting Wemby, Giannis, SGA. If you get the number one pick, just take the Joker. Why? Because he's going to put up, numbers in every single category, but also, especially for points leagues, he maintains that consistency and health. He's one of the most durable players that we've seen in fantasy over the years. So for me, I am drafting the Joker at number one. Number two, we got SGA. So this is updated as of July 11th, and this was made by Andre Snelling from ESPN. So this is interesting because over on NBA.com, the rankings that were created by RotoWire by my man Alex Barutha, number two, I believe they have Giannis. So I love to see the variation, and we'll do that top 100 from RotoWire and NBA.com if you guys want that as well. But right now, number two, SGA, I'm down for that. Number three, Victor Wembanyama. I'm okay with that. I honestly, me personally, would have Victor one level above. I would have him at number two and have SGA number three. And then we have Giannis at number four, which you can't be mad at. And then we got Luka Doncic at five. Luka this year, I've been thinking about it, watching what's happening online and seeing like skinny Luka is becoming a thing, right? And I don't know if you guys remember when Luka first came into the league, it was something different. And I believe that over the years, he's almost like plateaued a little bit. He's still been able to produce on an elite level, still one of the top players in the NBA. However, we really haven't seen him take a significant jump. I think he has a chip on his shoulder. And I wouldn't be surprised if Luka Doncic in points leagues moved up into that top three area. So be very mindful of what's happening with Luka in this offseason. Number six, Domantas Sabonis. For a points league, I get it. I wouldn't take him that high. I like players like Anthony Davis over him, but that's okay. At number seven, speaking of Anthony Davis, we have Anthony Davis at seven. Then we have at number eight, Anthony Edwards. Now, Anthony Edwards in a points league is going to be solid. I also think that for Ant-Man, people are getting higher and higher on him. He's going to average 25 points a game, right? He's also going to chip in some other areas. However, I don't know if I'm open to drafting Anthony Edwards like he's a top 10 player quite yet. Number nine, Jalen Brunson, maybe. Number 10, LeBron, father of time, James. Oh, baby. Now, LeBron going at 10 is wild to me. I don't know if I would do that, but it makes sense. Like he produces, and until we see some kind of significant decline from him, we can imagine that he'll continue to be this version of himself. Number 11, Cade Cunningham. I am higher on Cade Cunningham. I would have Cade Cunningham in that middle first round area, maybe late first round, having him outside of the first round. I'm not. Oh, well, actually, he's still in there. My apologies. He's at the back end of the first round there. So I guess that's okay. But he would be in my top 10 for points leagues this year. I'm rolling the dice. I'm like, whatever, man. I'm like, I believe that a player like Cade, one thing that you got to keep in mind with a young guy is that there's still tons of room to grow, right? There's like significant upside. With a player like LeBron James, there's only one way to go. It's like down, and whether you go slow or you go fast, you're not going to get any better. But for Cade Cunningham, we might see a significant leap this year. And rounding out the top or the first round in the top 12 is Karl Anthony Towns. I'm okay with that. I'm probably a little higher on Karl Anthony Towns than most. And then at number 13, we have Tyrese. We're seeing him go at the back. I think this is a steal. I think getting the potential, assist leader for the NBA at 14 is a deal. So top of the second for Trae Young, late first, I'm okay with that. James Harden. Now, this is a player that we are there's a lot of discussion around him. Like when you get, they're calling them the Unk Squad, right? So the LA Clippers have like some old guys. They got uh, Kawhi Leonard, who I think is 34. They got Brooke Lopez, who I think is in his late 30s. You know what I'm saying? They just grabbed your man Bradley Beal, who's 32, I think. I think Harden is 35. And then we also got Nick Batum. It's just like an older squad. Now, for James Harden, he has a brand new lob threat. I'm calling it Lob City 2.0 because he got John Collins, and John Collins got some bunnies. You know what I mean? So I think James Harden having another lob threat and also just continuing to adjust his game to his age. You know, he's aging like fine wine, my guy. And I think that a player like James Harden who can distribute the basketball the way he can, but also still put up a bucket when you need, then I think he's going to finish in the top 10 for fantasy basketball points leagues. I'm confident drafting him in that middle to late first round. So I think grabbing him at 15 would be an absolute steal. De'Aaron, never swearing, Fox at number 16. I'm okay with that. Steph Curry with the shot boy at 17. 18 Pascal Siakam. So I'm seeing Pascal Siakam go very high in this early second round. And this is what I would say to that. I think Pascal Siakam is going to cook this year. I do think he's going to perform well. Tyrese Halliburton is out, so there's going to be a lot of opportunity for him to increase his value and his workload. However, AD and Booker taking Siakam before Paolo Banchero, what, what, where they do that at? Like, I'm not about to do that. Just, it's not morally sound for me. So I could be wrong. And if you disagree, please let me know in the comments. I'm okay with that. But for me, I'm not grabbing Pascal Siakam before those guys. That's just me. That's just me. Number 19, Nikola Vucevic. Number 20, Kevin Durant. Absolute steal. I'm targeting Kevin Durant at the top of the second round in most mock drafts. Number 21, Devin Booker. Same thing. I would even reach for Devin Booker back end of the first round. Now, a player who's going to take advantage of a brand new system and a brand new roster is Devin Booker. So Devin Booker has tried his best to share the spotlight with people. You want to bring Bradley Beal in, bring him in. You want to bring KD in, bring him in. You know what I'm saying? You want to send Chris Paul out, send him out. You want to ship Ayton out, ship him out. But one thing that remains constant is Devin Booker. Devin Booker, if he has the ball in his hands, he's going to increase his assists. He's always going to average 25 points a game. Like he could definitely break the first round and get into that top 12. So watch out for Devin Booker. I'm checking for him in most of our mock drafts. Number 22, we got Jalen Williams. Number 23, Paolo Banchero. That is criminal. Paolo Banchero at 23 is criminal. He should be way higher than that. I would have him definitely like at least in the teens. Like, come on, ma. Come on, ma. Number 24, we got Scotty Barnes. I ain't mad at that. 25, DeMar DeRozan. He's super consistent. He's that dude. I don't know if I'm taking him that high. But I'm not mad at it. Josh Hart at 26. Like, I gotta look at the numbers, man, because I don't. This is for points leagues. I get that. I'm still like, what the heck? How am I taking Josh Hart over people like Franz Wagner and Donovan Mitchell? Like, and again, like all like these are all. I talked about it at the end. I talked about it in the intro. That rankings are the one thing that I've seen in fantasy basketball where people will either win their league or totally lose their league by using these things, right? So here's the two examples, right? Just so you can understand. So how do you win your league using rankings? What you do is you stay nimble, you pay attention to what the industry is saying, and that would essentially lead to what your league mates believe. So you can leverage rankings to like what I've done in the past is like I'll do a screenshot of some rankings and be like, hey, like you see they got Devin Booker at 35 right now. So he's not no one thinks he's gonna do well. Hey, why don't you let me throw you Josh Hart, who's at 26 or something like that? I'm just making up numbers there, but the players are real, right? So someone sees that and they're like, oh, like, well, if the rankings are saying that, it's got to be true. He's worth more. He's worth less than I think, and I'm going to see if I can move him or whatever the situation is. So using the rankings as a tool to understand what your league believes is how you use it to win. Now, how you use it to lose is stuff like this. And again, I could be wrong here. I'm flawed. But me looking at Josh Hart at 26, right? Josh Hart at 26, when I got people like Alperen Şengün at 29 in the points league, make make it make sense, because it don't make sense to me. Right? I don't know, like I don't have Josh's numbers from last season in front of me, but I watched him and he ain't do no Franz Wagner numbers. He ain't do no Donovan Mitchell numbers. Come on, man. Where they do that at? And I think sometimes where people finish at the end of the season, like sometimes we bring that over to the projections for the next year. There's a lot of things that have changed. There's a new coach in New York. Like it's not gonna be run them to the ground until their daggone joints bust like Tom Thibodeau. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. Anyway, number 27, Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown moving on up with Jason Tatum out. 28, Cooper Flag. Come on, man. Top is off. Boobies is out. Hair blowing in the freaking wind. People who grab Cooper Flag at 28, I think you guys are the bomb. I'm not that brave. I'm just like, I'm on the record. I always raise my hand when I make a mistake or if I have a bad take. And I had a really bad take a couple years ago when Wemby came into the league. I was like, don't draft Wemby because he's flimsy. He's going to get hurt. And you don't want to invest that much draft capital into a rookie. And if I'm wrong, which I was. He did pretty good his rookie year. But for Cooper Flag, same thing. I'm not drafting a rookie that early. I'll take him in the 30s, maybe 40s. I'm not taking him with the 28th pick. I'm not taking him before Şengün. I'm not taking him before Mitchell, Wagner. I'm not taking no, I won't. I'm not taking him before Mobley. Nope. I need to see it first. And that's just me. And again, I like to roll the dice with rookies, but later in the draft. And we'll talk more about that later. After Cooper Flag at 28, we have Alperen, the Goon, Şengün at 29, Donovan Mitchell at 30, Franz Wagner at 31, a steal. 32, Jamal Murray, a little high for me. Bam Adebayo, I think that's value. Ja Morant with the blicky in the club on the live stream at 34. Miles Denial Bridges, amen, pray to the heavens, Thompson at 36. 37, we got Tyler Hero. 38, we got Evan Mobley. 39, we got Austin Reeves. 40, we got Chet Holmgren. 41, we got Derek White. 42, we got Jaren Jackson Jr. 43, we got Desmond. Bring the pain. Bane. Number 44, we got Jalen Green. Really interested to see what Jalen Green will do this season in a new environment, new opportunities, see how he complements your man, Devin Booker. 45, Mikal Bridges. 46, Zubats. 47, Josh, the Giddler. Giddy. Number 48, Zion, how the mighty have fallen, Williamson. Oh, baby. Now, here we go. Number 49, Jalen Johnson. People are reaching for Jalen Johnson right now. I've seen Jalen Johnson go in the second round in mock drafts. So pay close attention to this. These rankings were released on July 11th. So we'll call these July 2025 rankings. Let's pay close attention to this. Let's pay very close attention to this because I think he's going to move up. But if you draft early and he's still down in this area, you might want to consider reaching a little bit. I think people are sleeping. I think they're sleeping. Number 50, Kobe White. Number 51, Jordan. Lead the kids at the pool with the baddies. At 51, 52, Jared Allen. 53, LaMelo Ball. Holy crap. I got to see the injury report. Is it that bad? Dang. Like, I'm down to swing for the fences on LaMelo because if he plays, he's going to cook up a 53. That is heartbreaking. 54, Walker Kessler. Come on, man. 55, Trey Murphy III. 56, Kawhi, Broken Die, Leonard at 56, 57, Joel Embiid. Let's talk about Joel Embiid real quick. There was just an ESPN report, and it's really concerning, man. It sounds like um, I don't want to go like I don't know the whole backstory. I can't talk to where Joel's mind is right now, but I would say like from what I heard from the report on that article is that there's a lot of talks behind the scenes around how fast he comes back, when he comes back, and what that looks like for the team. So for fantasy purposes, put it like this: if you can get a first round player with pick 57 and just not have him play the whole season, consider that. So for me, I am a part of my strategy this year is to grab one of these injury prone players in these middle rounds. Players I'm looking at: LaMelo Ball, Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid, and even a little later on in the draft, Kyrie Irving. And what do? You throw them in your IR, you wait, and when they come back, they're like a secret weapon. Joel Embiid can be a league-winning asset if you draft him in the right spot. So I'm not reaching for him in the first, second, or third. I'm looking later, like fourth, fifth round, maybe, if I decide to pull the trigger on that. So keep an eye on Joel. 58, Brandon Miller. 59, RJ Barrett. 60, Zach LaVine. I think that's a steal. I think Zach LaVine should go way higher. I think he should be way closer to where like DeMar DeRozan is. They essentially will produce on similar levels. DeJounte Murray at 61, 62, Miles Bridges. 63, Dyson, the burglar, Daniels. 64, CJ McCollum. 65, Rudy Gobert. 66, Freddie Van Vliet. 67, Jakob Poeltl. 68, Brandon Ingram. Really interested to see what Brandon Ingram does this season in Toronto. He hasn't played in a minute, y'all. So I think he's going to have something to prove. I think he's going to be aggressive, and hopefully the offense works for him and he'll be able to be that high-level scorer that we've known him to be. 69, John Collins. I'm okay with that. 70, Malik Monk. I think that's way too high. I don't think Malik Monk is going to have that type of a season this year. 71, Norman Powell. I think he's going to cook. 72, Darius Garland. Darius Garland, I would put right into that injury-prone kind of situation for this part of the year because he is banged up. So consider drafting him, but be careful. Mark Williams at 73. 74, Jalen Duren. I love that. I think there's value. 75, Cam Thomas. Maybe. 76, Julius Randle. Love it. Value on value on value. 77, Dan Gafford. So it's a busy front court now in Dallas. So I'm not sure about 77. 78, Jimmy Butler the third. Oh, Jimmy, $100 cup of coffee. Butler, I'm okay with that. 79, Paul George. PG-13. When I tell you, guys, those guys I talked about earlier, Embiid, Melo, Kyrie even, Kawhi, Darius Garland, fine. Whatever you do, do not draft Paul George this season. Stay away from him. It's just podcast P. Like, don't do it. Like, if you want to listen to his freaking podcast, listen to his freaking podcast, right? Love him from a distance. Do not draft PG-13. By God, do not draft PG-13. Okay, I'm moving right along. After PG-13 at the 79, we have Nas Reed at the 80, maybe. And Michael Porter Jr., I'm curious to see what he'll do in Brooklyn. I'm not mad at that. 82, Emmanuel Quickly. 83, Christian Brown. 84, PJ Washington. 85, Bobby Crazy Eyes Portis. 86, Russell Westbrook. Is Russell Westbrook on the team yet? What are y'all doing out here? Get him off of these rankings until we know he's going to be playing. Well, you know he might be in Greece playing. Come on, man. 87, Anthony Simons. I think that's value. 88, Kristaps Porzingis, value. 89, Lauri Markkanen, value. 90, Peyton Pritchard, value. Denny Abdia, yes, at 91. Cameron Johnson at 92. Devin Vassell at 93. Tobias Harris at 94. Jonas Valanciunas at 95. Head to the 96, Keegan Murray. I'm out on Keegan. 97, Jaden Ivey. OG Anunoby at the 98. That's crazy value. Oh my God. I would take OG way before that. 99, D'Angelo Russell. And rounding out the top 100, Onyeka Okongwu. Now that you know the top 100, make sure you check out this playlist to see all of our mock drafts.